Hi, I'm Lee, and this is my friend Cass. Ta-da! Sparkles, music, explosions, fireworks. Okay, so here's the second video I'm filming today. Second video today. Woo! Okay, gotta get my train of thought back where it was. What was it? Okay, I'm so glad I have a pause button on my phone. Uh, I was going to talk about how different the How to Train Your Dragons books are from the movies. Now we all know that your books and movies generally greatly contrast each other, but at least some books usually keep elements or certain plot points similar, or at least similarly enough that you can say, yeah, I can sort of see where they're the same thing. But with How to Train Your Dragon, I feel like they completely rewrote a whole entire book, and that's why I generally say, when they say based on, they mean inspired by. Because it is nothing generally like the book. But this one just was, I guess you can say How to Train Your Dragon, the book and movie, was my first time I realized that books and movies were not the same at all. So it's like my biggest childhood disappointment. you know? So I wanted to, I guess, vent about that a little bit to the internet so they also can know the difference, because I know, at least where I live, not a lot of people read books, at least where I could see them. They might have read books at home, but they didn't read them at school. Unless they absolutely had to, because teachers. Teachers. So, let's see. Where should I begin? Oh boy. Okay, first off, Fish Legs. Supposed to be skinny, asthmatic kid who squints and wears glasses. In the movie, he is quite a chubby guy and has like all this knowledge about dragons. Okay, now we're gonna move to Hiccup. Yes, they actually kind of stay closer to Hiccup. I don't remember him losing a leg in the book, but it's been a while since I've read the books, and honestly, I didn't actually finish the series because it started getting a bit too dark for me at that age, so I stopped reading them. I always meant to pick them back up and start reading them again, and I think I stopped technically like 2 books before the end. 3 books before the end. One of them still has a bookmark, like halfway through it where I read it, so gotta pick that up again eventually. So I can only talk about the discrepancies that kind of are obvious. So first off, Hiccup can talk to dragons. He's the only one with, like, a wide variety of knowledge on books, and he's kind of actually making these... There's, like, logs throughout the whole entire book of different types of dragons, with little descriptions and pictures, and, general, like, this is what they do, this is their power, this is their behavior sort of thing. Which I always thought is kind of one of the reasons I loved it so much, was because it had different dragons in it, and I was a giant dragon fan. So I'm gonna say since 3rd grade, probably. More like 4th or 5th grade, I think, was when I really started getting into dragons. But, so that I thought that was pretty cool, and now let me move on to the second character conflict. First there is Toothless. Okay, Toothless is supposed to be what is called a common gardener dragon. It is called common for a reason, because it's the most common dragon, and they don't really have defense type abilities or anything. So Toothless was also really small in comparison to most of all the other dragons, and didn't actually have any teeth, so he practically had the weakest dragon. And the monstrous nightmare, or was it whatever Snoutlout has in the freaking movie, I'm pretty sure they had the same name. I don't quite remember again anymore, it's been a while. Had the most BA dragon, like the best dragon. That was the best dragon in the book, and Toothless had the worst dragon that you could practically have in the book. So there's that. And I thought was like, okay, at that point it just wasn't the same thing. This just was not the same, like, movie anymore. They did actually sort of followed the plot line. Because, I mean, the Vikings had always lived together with dragons. They had a whole entire initiation where you go and get your dragon. So, that's where it differs with the movie also again. They did have there was a giant dragon in the first book that Hiccups, I can't remember if he persuades it or kills it, but either way, he ends up talking to the dragon and they have a nice conversation and it dies. And in the movie, there's a giant dragon and it dies. That's basically where that's the only thing that's the same between the two movies that I can really think of. And then there's Astrid. Now, technically, there's two different tribes. There's the Bog Burglars and there's another one that's more like, I can't remember which one's the Bog Burglars, Hiccups tribe, or if it's Kamikaze's tribe, because Astrid's technically Kamikaze from the books. At least that's the way I chose to interpret it. But Kamikaze's tribe is basically made of women warriors, while Hiccups people is more male based, and the males have all the dragons and warriors. So that was always a bit conflicting to me in my mind too, as how their society kind of worked. That wasn't really explained in depth in the book. But they don't live together. They actually met during like the second book. She wasn't even in the first book at all. So again, another inaccuracy on the movie's part. And Starflight was not a deadly natter. It was instead I can't remember its name now, but pretty much it was like a Chinese dragon, if I remember right, and it could shift colors. So that was pretty cool. And so I was kind of sad they changed the dragon that Aster was supposed to technically have, but they also kind of created a new character, so I guess they sort of get a pass on that one. And I understand why they didn't name it Kamikaze, because honestly, I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing the name right. It's one of those words that look really long, and you're like, is this how you say that? Is this not how you say that? So, yeah. One of my first childhood disappointments of realizations that books are not movies. And that you should never trust a book being turned into a movie, because it will be disappointing generally. And the ones that do follow the book, you tend to find boring. So it's like, I feel like filmmakers just can't really win, because I've witnessed one movie that followed a book to the T, and I believe that was Ponyboy. So honestly, I did like the book, certain points in the book, but the book was generally seemed boring to me, so that's probably why the movie also seemed boring. But I feel like if you follow it to a T, it's like, oh, I already know everything that's going to happen, so where's the suspense? But then again, I can read a manga and then watch the anime and still be totally happy and psyched about what's happening, because those generally actually follow their book origins quite well, so kudos to them! America apparently does not have the ability to do that even with TV series, which again is very disappointing, America. Why? Why are you like this? Anger! So that's my rant on the How to Train Your Dragon series, but either way, again, I don't feel like the filmmakers can really win. I wish they'd stick to the plotline just bar so I could even see if I really did like it on like a book I really liked, but I also understand that it's hard to convert a book to a movie, because when you think about it, movies are mostly dialogue, and books aren't just dialogue, they are also description, they have the character tags, there's just so much more inside a book that is harder to show generally in a movie. I mean, what takes like a few pages in a book can take like not even 5 minutes in a movie. And that's why I always think that book book series should be turned into TV shows and not movies. I think that's where we're going wrong. I think that's where we're going wrong. But I could be wrong. Besides Bones, I can't think of any series like that, and that one, from what I've heard, I've not read the books because I don't want to be disappointed. Generally, if I've read the book first, then I won't watch the movie or the TV show. And if I've seen the TV show first or the movie, then I don't read the book, because one of them is gonna start feeling one of them's gonna suck afterwards. Just one of them. Though generally the book is better in my opinion, but that's just me. So I think I'm done with my rant now. unless I think of something else. But my mind seems pretty clear right now, so we're gonna try to end it here. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Hope I made you laugh. Well, not really laughed, because there's nothing to really laugh about in this video. You just got to listen to me rant about the differences between a book and a movie that you may or may not have read, or may not have seen. So now you know. Yeah. Bye.